The last rites of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh will be held at around 11:45 a.m. local time. He will be given a full state honour at Nigambodh Ghat crematorium in Delhi. His final journey will commence from the Congress headquarters at 9:30 a.m. local time. Dr. Singh was 92. He is survived by his wife and 3 daughters. On Friday, draped in the tricolour, the former Prime Minister's body was kept at his residence for leaders and public to pay respects. Indian President Draupadi Murmu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Home Minister and Opposition Leader Rahul Gandhi were among those who offered their respects. A mountain of tribute is poured in for the late former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh after he breathed his last on Thursday night. Leaders from across the world bid farewell to India's former Prime Minister. Many wrote lengthy messages on social media, sharing anecdotes from their interactions and meetings with the veteran leader. All the tributes were unanimous on the enormous efforts Dr. Singh made to strengthen India's economy. Envoys to India from some of the biggest countries also expressed condolences at the former Prime Minister's demise. The ambassadors of China, Russia, Israel and the United States highlighted the role that Dr. Singh played in furthering diplomatic ties with India. To discuss the former Prime Minister's legacy, we were earlier joined by Dr. Shashi Tharoor. He is a 4th-term MP for Thiruvananthapuram and former MOS, best-selling author and former Under-Secretary General at the United Nations. Listen to this.
Right. I was only talking about economics in my first response, but there's a lot more beyond economics. And that's a very good example of something he introduced as Prime Minister, which essentially means that anybody can write to the government on a postcard demanding an explanation for how taxpayers' money has been spent on any particular issue. And the government is obliged to respond. This right to information was a pretty much unprecedented act in the developing world. It did exist in some developed countries, but we got it into India, and it's become now a sort of reflexive habit for many Indians to demand information under RTI. Dr. Manmohan Singh also brought in something that transformed rural India, the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which guarantees 100 days of paid employment for people below the poverty line in rural India, transforming the purchasing power of people who had very little disposable income and essentially keeping them off the streets in the cities by giving them decent work for better pay. All of this is just one thing after another. We haven't talked about his impact on foreign policy. He raised India's stature enormously around the world through his own knowledge, his own instinctive reopening of India to both the East and the West, to Southeast Asia, to the US. The Indo-US nuclear deal was a substantial achievement that ended India's somewhat pariah status in the global nuclear fraternity. He did an enormous amount to transform the lives of ordinary Indians, opening bank accounts for the poor, essentially transferring benefits directly to them, all sorts of things which I think, and indeed introducing what became known as the Aadhaar card, the individual digital identification number that's given every Indian citizen an identity that they can use then for welfare benefits and all sorts of other things to facilitate their transactions in this country. All of these were Manmohan Singh initiatives. People forget how much our lives have been transformed by his leadership and his prime ministership of this country.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.